Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub, and once again I welcome you to my study plan video for IELTS reading. Okay, whether academic or general training, this study plan is equally helpful for you. In order to execute this study plan, you need Cambridge IELTS books from 9 to 15, Cambridge official guide, and obviously you need IELTS trainer as well. Okay guys, now the first thing is you need to identify yourself. You need to actually test yourself where you stand in IELTS reading. For that, I would like to advise you to take one reading test, and that reading test should be taken within 1 hour under controlled examination situation. What is examination situation? You sit alone in a room, give yourself 1 hour, you should have stopwatch, okay, and then just go on and see within 1 hour how much you attempt and how many answers are correct. By the way, this study plan is going to be for 7 days, 14 days or 28 days. It depends on the weakness you have, right? You know, sometimes you go to the doctor and the doctor gives you 3 days medicine and you become all right. Sometimes you need 7 days medicine. Sometimes you need 1 month medicine. So it depends on the level of weakness you have, and then you can go on with this study plan. Now, once you take a test and you realize you have only 15 correct answers in reading, or you have only 20 correct answers in reading, this is where you stand. You can just go to Google and there you can find academic IELTS reading calculator, general training IELTS reading calculator, and they will tell you the range of correct answers and the band score. For example, 30 correct answers, 7 band in academic reading, 30 correct answers, 6 band in academic reading. So you just need to find that. Now, where you stand, that is your present, and where you want to be, that is your future. For example, you are at band score 5 and your target is 6.5. So first of all, you should see how many correct answers are there for 6.5. In academic reading, with 23 correct answers, you get 6. With 25, 26 correct answers, you get 6.5 band. So you should see, okay, if I need 6.5 band, I need 28 correct answers in academic reading. If my target is 7 band in reading, I need 34 correct answers in GT reading. Something like that. So once you are clear, now you see what's the deficiency. How much are you lacking? If you have 20 correct answers and your target is 30 correct answers, you are behind 10 more right answers. Now, after this, you need to carefully see where are the mistakes. Number 1. Number 2, how good is your reading skill? Number 1, where are the mistakes? Number 2, how good is your reading skill? See, reading does not mean the ability to read English without understanding. It's not that. It's not that you read. See, I can read English and someone says, do you understand what you read? And you say, no, but I can read English. So it's basically not just reading without understanding. It is reading comprehension. So you should see how many words are there that you understand. Let me tell you one more thing, right around 60 to 70% words are the same, which are regularly repeated. For example, all the parts of speech, in that we've got nouns, pronouns. These nouns and pronouns are being repeated time and again. Nouns can be new, but pronouns are being repeated like I, we, you, he, she, it, they. After that, helping verbs are same. Have, has, had, have been, has been, is, am, are, was, were, and all that. So these words are repeated. Mainly, there are 3 types of words which you need to improve. Whenever you learn vocabulary, focus these 3 types of words. Number 1, verb. Why verb number 1? Because verb is the main action word in a sentence. If someone says, I want to render my services to you, want is a simple word. Services is a simple word. Render. Now, if you don't know the meaning of render, you will not be able to understand the whole sentence. If someone says, I want to render my services to you, you can guess it, but you will not be able to understand. So that is the verb. Along with the verb, we have nouns, and nouns are qualified by adjectives. So these are 3 most powerful words in each paragraph and in each sentence, which you really need to understand, and these words are verbs, nouns, adjectives. Once you have good vocabulary, because by the way, mainly verbs, nouns and adjectives, they clarify or they give you the sense of the sentence up to 80%. If I say, for example, a beautiful cat is walking on the road. Beautiful cat, beautiful, adjective, cat, noun, walking, verb, road, noun. Okay, so this is how you can focus and you can understand. Helping verbs don't give any meaning in English most of the time, right? They only convey the tense and tenses, but they don't give any proper meaning. In the same way, prepositions can be guessed as well unless they are phrasal verbs. For phrasal verbs, it is different, but nouns, verbs and adjectives should be focused. Once you improve, and the best way to improve is not to learn the nouns, just read a paragraph. First of all, you should see what is noun. Second, you should see what is verb. Third, you should see what is adjective. And then you should be able to identify. If you read a sentence, it is raining outside. It's actually a pronoun. Is, helping verb. Raining, verb. So if you know this thing, then you can identify, and once you identify, then you can see the meaning. So you will work from this grassroots level. Once this thing is done, read some articles without any questions from the magazines, from the books, from any resource, even from the newspaper, and see how much you understand. Again, I tell you, 100% understanding is not necessary in IELTS. If you understand up to 70-75%, that's more than enough. There will be new words, there will be new phrases and all that. Even if you understand up to 75% or maximum 80%, you can easily achieve a very good bench score in IELTS reading. Now, what's the next step? You've practiced through passages, and by the way, you can do this in 7 days, 14 days, 21 days or even more. I told you it depends on the weakness level you have. After doing this, now you will come to IELTS questions. Pick up part 1. IELTS reading part 1, academic or general training. First of all, you should see there will be 3 to 4 type of questions which are commonly given in IELTS reading part 1. Number 1 is true, false, not given. Number 2, completion type of questions. Number 3, short answer questions. Number 4, sometimes they give list of headings in part 1 as well. Usually they give in part 2, but it may be in part 1. Number 5, they can give any other type. So you should see what the type is. Now, after that, you need to develop a skill to read, understand, find a clue word from the question. 3 things. Read the question. Second, understand the question. When I use the word understand, you can immediately translate the question into your native language. For example, students must go to school where they are registered. Now you can translate it into Hindi, Punjabi, African language, Arabic language, or whatever your language is. Immediately read and convert if you want to. If you understand English into English, that's the best approach. It will not take more time. So from the question, you will find a clue word. And by the way, these clue words are mainly nouns, verbs, adjectives. Mostly noun. You found a clue word that is noun. You found a clue word that is adjective. You found a clue word that is actually your verb, right? And sometimes clue word is a number. Sometimes it's a proper noun. Sometimes it's a proper place and all that. Sometimes clue word is a word written with capital letter. Once you find the clue word, now you need to go to the passage and scan where that word is. Your eyes will move around. For instance, if it is something like this and they have a passage and you're looking for a word, your eyes will move like waves. It can be a wavy movement of your eyes across the paragraph, right? Or your eyes will go, if there is a paragraph, your eyes will go like this, like this, like this. You are looking for a word, or you're looking for a similar word, or you're looking for that very idea. Once you spot where the idea is, stop there, read about it, and if you realize, yes, the answer is here, read the question again, refresh the question, come back over here. If the answer is one word only, identify that word. And let me tell you, in IELTS reading, there are several distractions. What is a distraction? Distraction is extra information which is given. Distraction is extra words. For example, if the answer is a noun, they give you 2-3 adjectives along with the noun, but the answer is noun. So what do the students do? They write adjective as an answer. They write second adjective which is given. So you have to be careful. Let me tell you how to check whether your answer is right or wrong. Whenever it is sentence completion, you write a word, read the sentence with that word. If the word conveys a clear, logical, grammatical sense, then your answer is correct. And if the word does not clear any sense, does not make any sense logically, grammatically and all that, then the word you've written there is absolutely wrong. This is how you can do that. So deal with the questions one by one, first passage only. These days I am improving my IELTS reading from from basic to intermediate level. Basic to intermediate level is part 1 of IELTS reading. Just focus part 1. Forget about part 2, part 3, because part 1 will prepare you for part 2. First you are in class 1, then you are in class 2. Okay, you cannot go into class 2 and then you say I will go back to class 1. So just do section 1 from all Cambridge IELTS books, from all other books. Okay, so just do part 1, identify the questions, and part 1, vigorous practice of part 1 will prepare you for part 2. And once you start getting 10 plus answers in part 1, you are ready to move to part 2. You can do that in 7 days, 14 days, 28 days. Once you start getting average 10 right answers in part 1, within 15 minutes, you are ready to go to part 2. Now come to part 2. Again, same thing. Identify the type of questions, your own skills, your own abilities. Initially, when you switch from part 1 to part 2, you will find it very difficult. But then practice. One test part 2, second test part 2, third test part 2. Gradually you will start to feel that you are becoming comfortable with part 2, and once in part 2 you start getting 10 correct answers, average 10 correct answers, sometimes 11, sometimes 12, but minimum number of right answers are 10. Now you are ready to move to the third level, which is advanced. So it is basic to intermediate part 1, intermediate to upper intermediate part 2, and then advanced level is IELTS reading part 3, whether academic or general training. Now you start with part 3. Give yourself 20 minutes in academic reading for part 3 and give yourself 30 minutes for general training reading part 3, because for general training reading part 1 15 minutes, part 2 15 minutes, part 3 half hour. Academic reading part 1 15 minutes, part 2 20 minutes, and part 3 the rest of the time, that is around 25 minutes. Okay, yes, like that. So you should go on like that, deal with it like this, and you will feel, what do the students do? They do part 1, then they do part 2. By the time they reach part 2, they don't understand. By the time they come to part 3, they never reach even part 3. So deal with it like this. Level 1 is part 1, level 2 is part 2, level 3 is part 3. Even you can spend a month on part 1. Read some extra articles from the newspapers, magazines, books and all that. Okay, just you can do 1 hour general reading, 1 hour specific IELTS reading. So you can make your timetable like that. I mean, I just want you to be your own mentor. You know what suits you and you also know what doesn't suit you. So you are the best mentor of yourself because you are clearly aware of your weaknesses and you are aware of your strengths as well. So you can do it like this. Go on, whether it takes a month or 2, once you reach your desired band. For example, you are looking for 7 band in reading and you are getting 31, 32, 33 correct answers in every IELTS reading test. You are ready to take the test for academic. For general training, your target is 7 band in reading and average answers are 35, 36, 35, 36. You are ready to take the IELTS test because with 34 correct answers, you will be able to achieve 7 band in general training reading. So this is the pattern, this is the scheme. It will take time. Some of you, most of you who have watched this video until this point, they would be thinking, I would do it, but only 10% of you will actually do it. And those 10% are requested to comment and make your strong determination. Make a goal by commenting this video, I will do it. I will follow this plan, and believe you me, this plan for reading is going to act as an aeroplane and it will land you to your destination country, that is Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America or elsewhere, wherever you want to go. That's all guys. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub truly wishes you best of luck. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.